What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as y'all can see, we got my guy Chris on the screen. Chris, what's good with you, baby?
What's good with you, bro?
Lakers in 7. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we got to go game 7 the whole way through. That's tough, bro. That's tough. I mean, look, that's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe we'll talk about it a little later on. Maybe we'll talk about it a little later on. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. As y'all can see, I got a little smile on my face because we gonna talk about a solid little division. We got the Pacific, you know what I mean? That's where the boys is, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and bring up the division. But we're not gonna start it off though with us. We're gonna be respectful and pay our due diligence to the other teams. I do a little due diligence for the other teams as well. Chris, I want to talk about the Kings. Now, there's a wonderful gentleman by the name of Keegan Murray, right? And then you know what? I've been doing this for a little second. Let me do this a little earlier. Keegan Murray, you know what I mean? Got drafted last year, 4th overall. Not bad at all. He gave you 12 points, 5 rebounds, rounding up, 1 assist. Here's the crazy thing, though. 45, 41, 77 splits. That 41% from 3, ridiculous. Like, he made the most threes in NBA history as a rookie. So I'm like, all right, we got a solid little prospect over here. And then not to mention, all right, let's see here. We got 0.8 steals, 0.5 blocks as a 6'8" wing. That's not bad, especially when it's his first year. Clearly made the all rookie team. What are you expecting for Keegan Murray this season in terms of him taking that leap? Like what are your expectations for him this season? And again, just to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, he gave you 12, 5, and 1 on 45, 41, 77 splits. So that's not bad. What's your thoughts, Chris?
Now, is he going to take that Ant Edward next week? I want to say that. But could I see him improving his game a little bit more? Absolutely. You got
when you say improving his game a little bit more, because again, he's a 3-and-D player, but when you're playing on the team when you're playing on the team with De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, hell, even Harrison Barnes, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, there's only been so much basketball on the court. And he got drafted 4th, so I'm assuming the team would want him, handling the rock a little bit. But like, what do you realistically expecting to see from him though? Like, improve his game in what way that you can actually see it on the court? Because he has 2 playmakers already, 3 if you count Malik Monk.
four you want to count the Barnes, but I'm just
I wouldn't put Barnes as a playmaker. I would say Huerter over Barnes personally. Okay. Like, Barnes is more of a scorer, more of a shooter, more of your versatility defender. And right now I think they have that in also Keegan Murray as well. So I mean, that, like, what can he actually have? What can he actually do on this court that's ideal for the Kings?
Being more a two-way player.
But when you say that though, again, he shoots a 3. Like, to me, he's already a good enough 2-way player. Like, can he improve? Yes, but that's every player. So when you say you said he needs to improve his game, like, what's one thing you're expecting or you want to see him improve specifically? Because again, when you say 2-way, I don't know if that's fair because I think he's already a solid 2-way player.
I would say average. I mean, what you did as a rookie is not bad. But I would say to get into that 15, 16 points per game range.
Okay.
That's where I want him. That's what I want him to see at.
Okay.
But like other than that, he's good. He's good. But if he could get like a little bit more points,
Mhm.
he'd be straight.
Okay. I mean, you said 3 extra buckets, but then you say he's good. So it sounds like so it sounds like there's no real big expectations in terms of him taking that leap. It should be the status quo, maybe a couple extra points per se. So it sounds like a bucket, maybe 2 extra, maybe an extra trip to the free throw line, but you're not looking to see him do too much
Uh,
more outside of what he's done. Okay, that's fine. I got you. I got you then. Um, I mean, like I said, I just wanted to make sure I showed the Kings a little love because they did improve last season, and I do expect Keegan Murray to have a little bit more focal point on him this season, just because when I look at Keegan Murray, I see someone who could be a defensive leader. And when I heard Mike Brown on AMP, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to hear me on AMP as well, I do go up there typically. I'll let y'all know when I'm back on AMP. But when I heard Mike Brown on AMP, he was saying how he wants his team to be more defensive minded as well as maintaining that offensive rating and all that
right.
offensive rate. And I'm like, the offensive pace. I'm sorry, and I'm like, that sounds a little tough. Like you might burn your legs out, champ. You might get out in the first round again because y'all are going to be fatigued. But someone like Keegan Murray, if he can set that tone early on for them from a defensive standpoint, I think now that's how you take that leap, if you will, because you have De'Aaron Fox, you have Domantas Sabonis, you have players on your team who can score. Where do you need to fit in best? What's the biggest hole for your team? And I think it is that defense. And I think it is that defensive void. So that's what I'm looking for him to be. Excuse me, my fault. My dad gonna computer about that. But I do expect him to take that big jump next season from a defensive standpoint. Yeah, yeah, I expect him to see. I expect to see him take that. Oh my god, I expect to see him take that jump next season from a defensive standpoint. So that's what I'm looking to see from Keegan Murray and the Kings specifically. But we're gonna keep it pushing, and we're gonna move it down to the Warriors, ladies and gentlemen, because we understand, Chris. They got a lot of things to talk about. Like CP3 did just get traded there. We can talk about Jordan Poole, though we've already talked about that before. So those videos are already out. My specific question is this: Steph Curry, who gonna be his help next season? Because when we had last year, well, Clay, we were expecting him to do a little bit different. Andrew Wiggins, we were expecting him to play. Neither really happened for us the way we were expecting, especially after they had just won the finals. So, who do you expect to see as the number 2 next season? Should it be Wiggins, Clay? Hell, will Draymond surprise you? Is it CP3? Like, who is that number 2 for you next season?
Until Clay hangs it up, it's still going to be Clay. Until Clay hangs it up, it's still going to be Clay.
I'm gonna be honest with you, champ. In the finals, it was Andrew Wiggins, respectfully. So when you say until Clay, like
Like
I
I
don't
said,
know.
until he hangs it up, it's still going to be Clay. I
Okay, so
love
then
Wiggins. I say like I love Wiggins. If it wasn't for Draymond, they would not have them titles. So I give you that. But until Clay hangs it up, it's still going to be Steph and Clay.
it's still Steph and Clay, but for me, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think it's Clay as the number 2. Again, we're talking about career, well decorated, right? Well decorated. Last
And a Hall
season
of
he
Famer.
gave last season he gave 22 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 44, 41, 88 splits. That's not bad. So I mean, I hear you from the standpoint of he cool. He missed last season, or he missed like 2020 and 2021. So, the season after that, he was a little rusty. And then this season, he played 69 games out of 82. When I look at Wiggins, though, like this brother here, respectfully, again, career wise, it goes Klay Thompson. Last season, he gave 17, 5, 2, 47, 40, 61 splits. So, I mean, it's it's the defensive tenacity and versatility that he brings. Like this 1.2 and point 0.8 steals and blocks don't really show what Andrew Wiggins actually does for this team. So when I'm looking at Andrew Wiggins, and then and, like it's even in the playoffs, like he was their second guy for me. Like not necessarily Clay. And it's crazy because if I look up Clay's numbers right now, his numbers could be actually higher in the second round or in the playoffs. Let me see. Yeah, they were higher. But what also does it for me is the fact that I don't think Clay brought the same level of defensive tenacity the way he did. So that's what I'm saying. I got Clay going on as I got Wiggins going on as Steph's number two. Clay cool. But I think this Warriors team is really gonna pop when Wiggins is number two, Clay is number three. That's when they at their best personally. But I didn't I ain't want to harp on them too much. You said Clay, I say Wiggins. I understand Splash Brothers, their history, it makes sense. I just think right now, point in time, it should go to Wiggins. But um speaking of number twos, right? I think we've looked at our Lakers as having a big as having a big two. Um, Anthony Davis, he's not leaving the Lakers, just re-signed with us for about 3 seasons. I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm putting you on the soapbox. Do you feel like we're gonna regret re-signing Anthony Davis? Because that's a lot of money for someone who's in and out of lineups quite often. It's a lot of money for someone who, well, if you want him to be the guy, he might not be the guy. So he got to prove it to Laker fans that he is. So I mean, what's your thought process on the Lakers extending Anthony Davis as a Laker fan? Will you regret this?
Damn, you really did put me in the box. Um, I have like mixed feelings for that. Um, if he see, I'm torn because I want my man to get paid, but at the same time, all we really is paying for somebody that who's literally been injury prone ever since he got to the Lakers. When we were when we were at our best, we gave everything was going through AD. And this year, I want everything to go through AD again. I mean, a healthy, healthy AD. I understand Bron is Bron. No disrespect, Bron. But if you really want to go far, especially in the juggernaut Western Conference as we got, you have to go through AD. And hopefully pray to God that the money and him staying healthy can go can go hand in hand. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. This might be our second to last chance of literally getting a title this year. I think this might be Braun's last run.
Okay, and so
That might
real
be
quick,
this might be
real quick, Chris, you said that this might be the second to last chance to winning a title this year. Um, Out of curiosity, what do you mean by that? And I apologize if you were starting a little bit too. My headphones kind of disconnected. But like, what do you
you
mean
good.
by this? What do you mean by this our second to last chance? Because personally, I actually foresee LeBron James leaving after this season. Us, me, um, and it being Anthony Davis and company. So I don't imagine this being our second to last chance. I think last year was our second to last chance. So what's your thought process on like why do you say it's our second to last chance this season?
I'm gonna say last chance. The main reason why I
Oh,
say last chance because Braun don't have that much mileage left in his tank. And like I agree with you. I think that he wants to leave. He wants to leave LA. He wants to.
Okay.
He's going to leave LA. Then that means AD is going to be the man.
But
So
when you also said too you regret AD leaving, I kind or not leaving, I'm kind of on that fence of do I regret or not. Um, so like, and I've been thinking about this too, 'cause I don't want to come off as too spoiled, right? Who the hell else would we get if we don't have Anthony Davis? Like,
that's
who
true.
else is coming to the Lakers right now? I do remember a point. Don't get me wrong. I do think, oh, well, it's the Lakers organization. Who wouldn't want to play for the Lakers? Well, I mean, we have rich history. We have a bunch of championships. Like it's a championship pedigree organization, bro. That's a lot of success that's come with it. That also might scare away players. Like I know for a fact, a lot more players should have wanted to play for the Knicks and haven't because of the gravity that it brings on top of the organization looking ignorant for a large part of my lifetime. But people should have wanted to play for the Knicks, so it's not as easy as it used to be just grabbing players. Like it was a little bit before we did get someone to come to our squad. So I should we really regret? Do you feel like we're being too spoiled because we feel like we're regretting this Anthony Davis extension? Because
Oh,
potential wise, he's
absolutely.
still top. He's a top five potential player in the NBA.
Right. Absolutely. We've been spoiled. Not even going, not even going to stunt, bro. Not even going to stunt, bro. We've been, we've been spoiled.
I mean, but is it? I guess to me, I don't think it's necessarily us spoiled, but at the same time, I recognize yes, we have been given a lot of favoritism. I
Right.
just don't want to say I don't want to quite say spoiled. Maybe it's biased, but I will say if we didn't get like if we lose Anthony Davis, I'm okay with retooling, if that makes sense. Like I'm okay with trying to have going through that deload period again, if you will. Like that would like that's okay. Because as long as we have a plan in place and we are clearly getting better,
But,
I'm
but,
cool. I'm
but we don't
cool.
have, I said, but our picks we have, and the Pelicans got.
Well,
So,
we would have to trade Anthony Davis to a team that had picks that needs Anthony Davis or could use Anthony Davis. Like trying to think who could have actually used Anthony Davis. Hell, Shea and AD could have made something shake.
you took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Like that could have made something shake. Or nah, 76ers don't got enough. I'm sorry. And neither do the and neither do the
Miami?
Heat. Neither do the Heat. Who?
Miami?
No, I said the Heat don't either. Like I wouldn't want the same issue the Heat had with Portland is the same issue they're gonna have with us. Unless they coughing up Bam Adebayo, I don't
It's not.
expect that to happen. So like, nah, dog. Like, I don't see too many. I don't even know too many teams that I would really want to make trades with right now.
Brooklyn?
It's talking about going. Who am I getting back for? Like I need if I'm getting Anthony Davis back, I actually need like a solid star because again this is a top five potential player. Health and his level of aggression is the main reason why he's not in my top five. And it was hard. It was kind of hard taking him out of top 10. It was just the health factor for the top 10. So top 10, if he's healthy, or if he's healthy, he possible top 10. And then if he's aggressive, possible top five. I need something back for that. Like I need something back for that. I need Giannis to be like, you know what, I'm out. And then the Bucks looking at AD to be like, you know what, we can make something work with that young man. Like we really truly could.
But
Or
that
if Ben,
means but that means you have to face Joel 3 times a year.
that's their problem, not ours. That's their problem, not ours. I'm okay with that. But I will say this too, though, the Nets could be a little interesting if they are willing to part ways with Mikal Bridges and Ben Simmons if Ben Simmons returns back to form. But I think that's an improbable task because both of them brothers are younger than AD. So again, there's only very few places that we could go. That's why I was asking, are we spoiled? But at the same time, should we still regret the AD extension? Like I kind of regret the AD signing, but that's because of how much talent we let go of to get him. So now we got to talk about the extension as well. But we'll see how it shakes, though. We'll see how it shakes. I ain't want to harp on our boys too much because we got some more basketball to talk about. Because we got here the Clippers. The Clippers. Listen, you know what I mean? LA Clippers out here. They doing big things. They doing good things until you reach the playoff time, I guess. Like they entertaining throughout the regular season. In the playoffs, they just falter for whatever reason, you know? So that begs the question. Tyronn Lue. Ty Lue is some of them call him. Is he gonna get clipped after this season if they don't win? Like let's say they lose in the first round. Like should he get the boot? And I guess another way of asking this is Ty Lue on the hot seat this season?
He's 1,000% on the hot seat.
That's
Not
hot seat.
Trey. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give up the bubble 3-1 massacre against Denver. 3-1, whatever. Okay. You had opportunities without Kawhi to made it to the Western Conference Finals. Come on, bro. Come on. I understand they love to beat us. Cool, fine, then. But you telling me you got two of the best two-way players of all time in Kawhi and PG. You got
all time is aggressive. Of all time is aggressive.
Kawhi, yes. PG, he's PG. You got Brody. You got pieces there.
So when you say pieces there, though,
you got pieces there.
Nah, but okay, but look, hear me out, right? Because you're talking about they got pieces there, but Chris, his pieces were injured, so were they really there? Like, you feel me? Like, let's go down the road. Okay. So like we got here Kawhi. The brother puts up really solid stats, a decorated career, two-time D point is scary. All right, two-time Finals MVP. The man is special, ladies and gentlemen. But like 24, 74, 51, 42, 87 splits is disgusting. 50 games, Chris. 50 games. That's how much this brother played. Then when we look at this man, Paul Rondavius George. No, that's not his middle name, but like it just sounded better. We got here. It's actually Clifton Anthony. Actually, who knew? Paul Clifton Anthony George. Yeah, PG-13 sounds a lot better. Young Trace, Batman, Playoff P. He brings up 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 46, 37, 87 splits. Again, that's not bad. A solid career. That brother only played 56 games. And the year before that, he played 31. And then the man Kawhi, that brother missed a whole year. So like, I got it like again, we got like both of them combined. If you combine PG in 2022 and Kawhi in 2023's games played, that would actually equal. They would be one more game than Mikal Bridges this past season. And that brother had 83 games. So if they in 2 seasons get one game more than Mikal Bridges did in one, can we really put Ty Lue on the hot seat? You gonna get out the Bic and put it underneath the seat? Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. You getting the Bic lighter and put it underneath the seat? That's what you're doing, Chris? That's what you put my man's on the hot seat like that for real? He done already got stepped over by AI. Now you gonna do him dirty like this? That's so trifling. He been the scapegoat for Cavs because of LeBron and them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's gotta be Tyronn. Tyronn Lue, not a good coach. And now he goes to the Clippers. He did well. And look, I'm one of those people who said, hey, maybe Tyronn Lue is a little overrated. But now you say he on the hot seat. You still standing true with that statement?
Yes. Bro, it's Western Conference or Finals or bust. if you're not gonna give me either one of them two, he got to go.
So what if his team's in? Okay, so what if PG and Kawhi get injured again? Would that be the only way would that be the only way he stays on the team for you?
God, you really gotta put me on the hot seat.
Why not? You putting him on the hot seat? Like PG and
I
Kawhi
would
go
be
down,
against. Okay, I
or
would.
or you lose one. You lose one. You lose PG or Kawhi, and you don't get the Western Conference Finals. That's still fire. That's a fireable offense to you still.
Yes. Yes.
Cold world. Cold world. Listen, Ty. As one light skin with braids to another, at least you had it in the past. I don't know about now. That's not a shot, too. That was not a shot. I promise you that was not a shot. I was really trying to give you your flowers, my boy. I swear to you, I'm trying to give you your flowers. Just know hey, look, listen. As my man Woody said off Toy Story, you got a friend in me, champ. So, like, please, no, you're not on the hot seat for me, especially if your boy is injured again. Because your players is made of duct tape and BS glue. I don't know what to tell you. So I feel bad for you. And if they don't like you, I'm certain the 76ers would love to have you. But Chris is not rocking with you. So I'm assuming other people might not too. So I'm wishing you the best. But I will say, from a sports fan,
I said,
it don't sound like it. It don't sound like it. It don't sound like it. Don't even lie to him like that. Don't don't even lie.
Right.
Matter of fact, because this is the transition on to the last team, ladies and gentlemen. And we're gonna talk about the Suns. And I know you don't love that man because you said, and I quote, you wanted to talk about the Suns last, not not the Kings, not the Warriors, not our Lakers, nor the Clippers. You said you want to talk about the Suns last.
I do.
So you know what? Not Tyronn Lue, he was lying to you about loving your Clippers because the Suns, he said, got more precedent, got a little more cachet, got a little more priority than your Clippers. So you know what, Chris, brother, flow is yours. So spotlight. What you want to talk about with your son, with the Suns? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds before I actually go into my take, which is the Suns. Is their depth an issue or is it actually sufficient? That's what we're going to be talking about. So as long as you don't address that question in your soliloquy, we cool. Oh, well, then, okay. So now my thing is this, since we're going ahead and have this right up here, the depth issues or actually is this sufficient? Because when we're talking about here the Phoenix Suns, right? It's actually not that bad of a team, Chris. You got KD, you got D Book, you got Bradley Beal. Let's see here. Who else we got? We got. I'm trying to pull up the roster as we speak.
They got Okoku. I mean, you got.
I'm pulling up the roster as we speak.
Oh, okay.
So we got. Actually, no. Let me go to the next season. That was last season. Oh, this internet really want to run slow today. That's so crazy. All right, well, while it's pulling up at least, we got last year's roster, which was campaign. Okay, yay, about daggone time. So we got here Brad Beal, Jordan Goodwin, Devin Booker, Damian Lee. Let's just pull out who I think is going to actually make the roster, right? Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if KD going to make it. He on the fence. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Drew Eubanks obviously had to come up there. Ooh. And then you know what? I like as a bookie. Listen, there was Brad Beal, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you know what? Watanabe was cool. They got enough guard defenders right there, I think. Metu probably straight. Diop, Zai, Wainwright. So essentially, this is what it looked like, Chris. This seemed like what's going to be their team. This is what I would look at. So, with that being said, is their depth really an issue? Because I mean, like, the team is all right. We got Brad Beal at the helm. You got D Book. You know what I'm saying? Like these thing 1 and 2. Then you got KD. You got DeAndre Ayton. I mean, If I want another guard, I got Eric Gordon. If I want another forward with some height and length, I can get Bol and put him at the power forward spot. I got Eubanks. He's undersized, but he can play a little backup center for me if I need him to. Like, I can run zone with this team, but most importantly, on the offensive end, I'm going to have at least 2 fringe all-stars on the flow at all times. And Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton. So for you, I say it's actually sufficient talent, and they should be able to get the job done. It'd be nice to have a little bit extra. Like if they had a legitimate point guard, I wouldn't be mad at them. A bigger big, like a bigger rim protecting big, I wouldn't be mad at him. Because Ayton cool. He hasn't shown you enough to say he had defensive presence. So I understand you say you got some trepidation. But I do believe this team is sufficient. And you might see a different Ayton this season too. What's your thoughts on the Sun? And because you said you want to talk about him last, soapbox.
Okay. The Suns. The Suns. If they could have kept a point guard, I mean, it don't have to be like CP3, whatever. They can just keep like a solid point guard. They can literally come out of the West easily. But when your big 2, big 3, or big 4 gets in the foul trouble, who's going to be the next man up? That's why I feel like their bench is not going to hurt them in the regular season, but when you get in the foul troubles in the playoffs, who can you really trust on when it gets thick? And also, you got a brand new coach. So how's the brand new coach and those 4 players, including 3 all two all stars and 2 French all stars? How is all of that is going to mix? That's it.
Well, I think all right, so you brought up an interesting point. You said playoffs. Playoffs, it is a different beast, right?
It is.
But I will say in terms of playoffs, rotations kind of shrink as is. So as long as this team, like again, let's bring up the roster. As long as these boys can sit up there and remain healthy, Chris, specifically the 6 that I said: KD, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Eric Gordon, and Bol. Those 6 in particular, as long as they healthy, they cool. Because they got the talent, they got the length, they got the skill set, they have the IQ, they have the offensive potency, and they have enough defensive tenacity or defensive capability, in my estimation, to get past most teams. Like when I look at the Nuggets last season. Matter of fact, hold on. Oh my God. Please tell me I still had that up. Yeah. When I had the Nuggets last season, right? Bro, if you look at what their team was in terms of who all played in the playoffs, it was an 8-man rotation, Chris, right? But if you look at how many freaking minutes they played, like, come on now. Like, again, this is the playoffs. That's how much minutes they played. They're 8 deep. So you got 13 and then 17. So they're really running 6 deep. So again, if my boys can sit up here, and when I say my boys, I'm talking about the Suns. Oh my goodness, I just had the roster. Here it goes. So if these boys can sit up there and play this well and remain that or be this talented, be that healthy the way the Nuggets were, I can see that being something to shake. And like they also have hustlers on the team, whereas let's say a Josh Okogie, a Damian Lee, right? Like to me, those type of players are those hustlers that they have. So if I'm them, I'm expecting this Sun team to have sufficient talent, sufficient depth, and I'm not gonna give them like, oh, they didn't have the talent, they didn't have the team that they needed. Because I think people also forget that that Brooklyn Nets team that KD was on, it didn't really have too much outside of him, Kyrie, some good role players like
Yeah, it
Joe
was.
Harris and Steph Curry and them. Those are good role players.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have similar situations. Eric Gordon, no slouch. Josh Okogie, he does his job. Damian Lee, a quality three-point shooter, also married into the family of Steph Curry, so he probably got some tricks to the trade. You know what I'm saying? Like his at minimum, his wife was probably telling him some stuff Steph and Steph were doing. You know, so like I'm sure he cool. He was shooting in the upper 30s, lower 40s. That's the same team we got over here, and that next team, they were like first or second in the East a couple of times. So this Sun team can be very scary. So I think they have sufficient talent, bro. But it sounds like you say you have question marks, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Understand? I got some trepidations too, but I think they have enough to get over the hump and win that championship this season in particular. So I hear you on the trepidations. I understand you say it's a little lackluster, um, but it's going to be a good season overall for the Suns as long as they're healthy. They should make a deep run into that playoff push, especially with KD. I think this is the big chip year for them, especially with D Book too. They both want it, and Bradley Beal got something to prove too. Plus, Aiton has something to prove as well. I think people will start, saying not a bust, but he not turning out to what you would have wanted. Which you get 19 points, 10 rebounds. That ain't nothing to scoff at either. But he can be a 20-point per game scorer, even a 25. Now's that time to show him. And he's at that year. He's at that 5-year mark, Chris. Which
Mm-hmm.
bigs, they usually take about 5 years to develop. So he's at that 5-6 year mark. So I like this Suns team. I think they got sufficient depth. So we're gonna see how it shakes. But I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that about covers the Western Conference. Um, Chris, I don't know if you got anything else you wanted to add before we close up shop, but I greatly appreciate you, my boy. And as y'all know, y'all definitely see him. Y'all will see him up here again as well. Stay tuned for the Carter albums to drop. We got that coming out of the way. So he got some EPs working on them right now, but we'll have it out coming soon before long. But Chris, do you have anything you want to say for the close up shop?
Once again, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you,
I
bro.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. Lakers in 7 is really aggressive, by the way. I just wanted to reiterate that. That's going to be a really gruesome, tiring playoffs. I'm telling you right now. But I mean, hey, maybe if we win the championship and we do it all in 7 games, maybe Braun retires. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes. But ladies and gentlemen, please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.